800 yards of open beach run across.
So is that sand, the green is the sand then? Or is
Green is grass.
So there
the
was,
beach is
right here.
That's high water mark. When you hit the green grass, that's high water mark. Well,
Okay.
the Germans waited till low tide. They ran out and dug those hedgehogs. Now they're made out of iron. So when the ocean comes back in, here they are, here's the water. Boats run across it and just rip the bottom of the boats out. And the guys will drown. So that's why they had to attack at low tide. 800 yards. That center row was 6 foot tall of barbed wire. You had to cut your way through it. From the barbed wire to the trenches were the minefields, all down through there. If they survived that, they still had to climb the cliff.
Would you say the movie Saving Private Ryan is a really good reenactment?
As close as they could get it.
Yeah.
I talked to people that survived. The first wave was butchered. The second wave was almost. The third wave was coming in, and Bradley, according to the records, was going to call off the invasion because they were just getting slaughtered. Everything went wrong on this beach. The destroyers are out there guarding the fleet. They're not supposed to leave the fleet. Direct orders. One destroyer heard the calls on the radios for help and left his post, brought that destroyer in to 800 yards. He was sitting there hitting the sandbars, turned it broadside, went up and down that beach, broadside, stopped, put it in reverse, came back 3 times, up and down, and that's probably about an 8 to 10 mile run.
Wiped out
Just
the Germans.
fired everything until he ran out of ammunition, then hightailed it back to the fleet.
The last Fort Fest, I interviewed a guy who was on that ship.
Yes, I met him, yes.
Yeah.
And I read his book, and that destroyer left here, went to the South Pacific, was at Guadalcanal. After the war, it wound up in Korea, shelling North Korea. After that, it went to Vietnam, and it was 4 different wars, that same destroyer.
Where's it at today?
It was decommissioned, but I don't know if some city got a hold of it or what. But yeah,
Is it true the captain of that ship got reprimanded for doing what he did?
Down in the log, so therefore they did not know what he was doing.
Okay.
If he wrote it down,
I have a feeling they knew, but they said,
but it's not in writing, so therefore
he saved the day. I never heard that story before.
It took him 20 years, I think, 20, 30 years to track it down.
Yeah.
To get the paperwork to verify.
Hey, you need to interview this guy here. He's talking about D-Day, something. Mike Meg with the radio station.
Oh, how you doing? Yeah, we met. We're supposed to do an interview. I was eating lunch.
Well, that's important. So.
That's important.
Now, I like this out there.
What?
In the muster, they got all these guys.
Oh. Too hot for me.
Oh, those guys? Can you imagine?
That's the old wool too.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, this is Omaha Beach D-Day.
Yeah, he shared a story about a destroyer who did our order, basically saved a lot of American lives.
Somebody poured Indian.
He's a good interview. That's right.
Well, you heard the cries on the radio for help because they were literally murdered.
Part of the 1812.
Third wave was coming in, and so he decided to leave his post, come in, turn his ship sideways, broadside, and fired everything he could. The one comment in his log was that he had a twin 5-inch gun.
With this,
He fired 13 rounds in one bunker. Lit it off the cliff. Literally two. These bunkers are streets.
Yep.
That's why we didn't attack. Weren't we going to attack the first? Weren't we going to attack before we did D-Day?
Yes, but the Air Force was supposed to bomb all this.
Yeah.
The pilots waited 1 extra second. That 1 second up there, bomb could have go straight down. They arched their way. 5 miles inland, they were dropping. So this was untouched.
So they missed.
They missed. The Navy, they were supposed to do this. They miscalculated. Guess where they were bombing? Same village. So this was untouched. Everything went wrong with
How
this.
high? How
Yeah.
high were the planes up in the air?
Probably about 20, 30,000. You know, they were up there. So when they hit, it was just pure fire at it. This is a heavy machine gun bunker.
These are all models that guy speaking there made.
Light mortar, machine gun, artillery is turned sideways. It'll turn out to sea. This cannon is firing down along the beach. This one is firing down along that side. The Navy couldn't see the muzzle flash. They don't see the muzzle flash, you don't know where the bunker is. So they depended on the guys that destroyer came in. Navy communication is the Army communication. Don't jive. No. So the only thing that the captain could do is get guys with binoculars, and they'd see a group of guys all shooting in one area. Well, something's got to be there. So they swung their guns, fired until those guys got up and went somewhere else. And that's how they followed the guys. If they're shooting in one area, there has to be something there.
Well, what happened to the ones who parachuted in?
They were way back in the back.
Probably getting bombed by our...
Yeah, there was a lot of fire. I'm on the 82nd Airborne, so yeah, there's a lot of friendly fire.
Huge display.
They dropped at such a low altitude that it tried to get out of the flak. It scattered all the guys everywhere instead of dropping in nice little bit spread out everywhere. Then you had 2 guys here, 4 guys there, 10 guys over here. Like your way into each other. Hey, Joe, is that you? Nice! Okay. So yeah, this is D-Day. That's Vietnam. That was going to be 4 years ago.
That was that what is this today?
No, that's just a typical fire base. That's 5 different memories. Each guy told me how to lay out his area in the last detail. So guess what? There's a beer party going on in there. There's 2 of them with Playboys down to the last detail.
How long did it take you to do this?
5 years. 5 years. And it's designed to where everything I have, I can stand it up on it, put it on dolly and get it out. So everything's in.
Now you live around here?
I live in Indiana, just a mile south of Grissom Air Force Base. 2-hour drive.
Why? Am I here?
Yeah.